Okay. Um, yeah, welcome back to the show, everybody. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting show tonight. I'm showing today, the 27th of November, 2025. Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm going to start today with the current event happening in Nigeria. The first thing is Goodluck Jonathan is back. We covered the news where he was trapped. He was trapped in Guinea-Bissau just earlier today. There was an election I held yesterday, at Guinea-Bissau, and we got the news that Jonathan had gone there to observe. He had gone there to observe all stuff that happened, and as a result of the crisis that did happen there, there was a military takeover in Guinea-Bissau. And he couldn't move. He couldn't come back from that. So this is what happened. He was actually stuck in there. There was a military coup in Guinea-Bissau, and he did. There was this question of when is he going to be coming back? Now, the new president. There was a new military head of state that was actually sworn in today, and as a result of that, we're thinking like when is he going to come back home? The new military guy got in this morning, and just moments ago, like some hours ago, we saw him touch down in Nigeria. The former Nigerian president, Goodluck Jonathan, has safely arrived in Abuja, Nigeria, after being evacuated from Guinea-Bissau in the wake of a military coup. He landed at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. Jonathan had been in Guinea-Bissau as part of a joint election observer mission, deployed by the African Union, ECOWAS, and the West African elders. So that was what happened. And we can see him, we can see him come back. Let me just go live at this moment. Okay, thanks and welcome back. I'm just going to be looking at some things that did happen today. This is Shehu Sani. Shehu Sani, the terrorists killing people in northern Nigeria and northern Muslims and northerners. The bandits attacking people in the region are Fulanis from the north. So it is for us to solve the problem. It's not for anyone else to solve it. Let me see what he has to say.
The terrorists killing people in northeastern part of Nigeria are not from Congo.
Okay.
They are not from Malawi. They are not from Namibia. They are not from Egypt. They are northerners and they are Muslims.
Wow. That's quite a statement to make. You see, because there's this debate that has been going all around, and this debate has centered around who has actually been doing this atrocity. There's a theory that a lot of them come from North Africa. Okay, there's a theory that when Libya fell, these people moved over and then they came from their weapons, so they left every other country and then just came straight to Nigeria. Why didn't they move to Ghana? Why didn't they move to other parts of the continent? So he's saying that, these people doing these stuff, they are known. They're Muslims, they're northerners, some of them are Fulanis, and they're from the north. And that the problem was this: you were not allowed to criticize them during the Buhari era.
The bandits in the northwestern part of Nigeria, they are not from Senegal. They are not from Mali. They are not from Morocco. They are not from Guinea or Guinea-Bissau. They are Fulanis from the northwestern part of Nigeria.
Wow.
So it is for us to solve the problem.
Okay.
It is not for anybody to solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They are not speaking Chinese, they are speaking Fulani language. They are not speaking Spanish, they are speaking Hausa language.
Yeah.
They are not speaking Mandarin, they are speaking Kanuri languages. When will the North sit down and address the whole of these bandits and terrorists are not more than 5,000?
And that's the thing, right? People keep
People.
saying that. You know what? A lot of these people, you're demonizing the North, or you're demonizing, the Fulanis, or you're demonizing Muslims. No, I think we can be frank and tell ourselves the truth that these people, they're actually in the minority. But then the silence of the majority is part of the problem. And that's the reality. And that is what is happening right now. And is accusing some people, like, let's look at this one.
Appointed northerners to occupy key positions.
Okay.
Were they able to solve the problem? No. It's a fact of history that many people decided to keep quiet at that very time because they believe that the person in the position of authority and power was from our own part of the country, and we shouldn't be seen to be damaging his image, his reputation, or the administration, which we believe is our own. Here we are as a country today, victims of violence, of bloodshed, of attack.
Okay.
Are demanding for more action on the side of government to end this carnage, to end this bloodshed.
Yeah.
But there are political forces from this part of the country who thinks differently, that this is an opportunity for them to hit on the government.
Yeah. Again, that's one of the things that I think that it's more of a reoccurrence. Exactly this same time, 10 years ago, 2014, you can actually see the same pattern. Jonathan was in government. We had the Chibok girls kidnapped. Almost the same time, almost the same period. And again, what do they say? Politicians, they know this word. Do not let a crisis go to waste. Meaning, when something is going down as an opposition or even as a party in power, never let that crisis go to waste. How much can I use this to further my own political agenda? And that's why when people talk, you discover that they try to use this scenario to see how can we kick this guy out of power. Now, maybe he's meant to be kicked out of power come 2027, but again, you cannot tell me that this same set of people were not at some point responsible for the security of Nigeria. And what did they do when they were there?
And to capture state power. So political power is more important to them than the lives of our people.
Sani also took...
Yeah, and again, that's the reality. Yeah, that's the reality, let me say.
Where he, on up to appeasing bandits in Kaduna State in order to launch attacks.
And again, one of the things that I don't understand with that is that El Rufai, when he was governor of Kaduna State, went on TV to say, you know what, we gave these people money. We gave the bandits money. We gave these terrorists money. Anything to do in the name of peace, we're going to give them the money. And then later on now, he's telling us that, you know what, he doesn't even support giving them money, that he never gave them one dime. And even though most people in Nigeria, they kind of have this short memory, okay, of events, but people were fast to say, you know what, Rufai, no, you're lying here. You actually paid bandits when you were the governor. And we knew the condition of Southern Kaduna then. Southern Kaduna was a no-no. There's a relative peace there, even though there's still pocket of issues here and there, but at least there is a relative peace. But the whole problem has spiraled even out of Kaduna. Niger State is an odd zone. Kebbi is an odd zone. Wales again is an odd zone. You still have issues in Zamfara. I saw that there were also some other kidnappings that happened today, just today, and it's quite a shame. Okay, let me just continue.
He's the engineer, he's the architect, he's the author of conditional cash transfer to bandits, if there is any person like that, if there is any word like that. Okay. Since the coming of Governor Obasani, yes, we cannot say we have 100% peace and security.
Yeah, there's still issues, yeah.
We cannot say.
Yeah.
There are pockets of attacks still going on in some specific points within the state.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot compare the relative peace, stability, and calmness we have now with the terror and bloodshed that happened when Nasser was the governor of Kaduna State.
I wish people can ask Nasir El-Rufai really what happened. Because we see him all around now, sucking up to Atiku, and not as if Atiku is a best political ally of El-Rufai. But again, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So again, I still don't know if the joint, effort that they're trying to put together to put out APC from power would work. But we need to ask questions. What happened when you were the governor? How come there was no peace in southern Kaduna? What happened to the payment of the bandits? Would it be that some of these monies have been rolled over and this is what they are now paying, using to kidnap more people and finance their operations? Because a lot of money was given to these bandits when he was a governor, and they're still collecting a lot of money now.
He warned that foreign...
Okay, so again, that's where we are with respect to that. I saw this video and I felt like, okay, it's fine for us to bring in my country. So this was his reply November 4, though it's kind of stale now, but my country is not a disgraced country. I will never be a disgraced country. Anyone who is proud of his mother who gave birth to him after months of labor in his ancestral land will not accept the land being called disgraced. Again, yeah, we just put it like that. Bandits, killings are all Fulanis from the north. Shehu Sonny speaks. So that's the update from Shehu Sonny today. As I was saying earlier on, Goodluck, who is the master of peaceful transition of power, went to Guinea-Bissau to go ensure that there was a peaceful transition of power. Unfortunately, there was a coup that happened and he got stuck. But now he's back to Nigeria. Okay, he's back earlier today. I don't know if you've seen this video. The problem in Nigeria now is even if you're well-to-do, the fear of kidnapping, the fear of uncertainty and things happening demands that you live, number one, either you live in a very fortified place in Nigeria or in an area where you don't have crisis. And who knows, right? This is this guy. Look at them. Newly married couple, I believe. Look at them posing in front of their cars. Okay. Now, just today, they have this. Armed kidnappers have sent this video to the family of a husband and a wife abducted from Aviele community near Auchi, Edo State. This is Edo State. Auchi, Edo State. And they're demanding millions in ransom. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. My wife is pregnant. Can you imagine that? Even with 7 million, your life is not guaranteed. Wow. How on earth this looks? Why does this look like an inside job? May God bring them back safely. Why do you say so? Okay, come from men in and around Auchi, another part of Edo State. Where are your tools? This is where to show your superiority. I saw a video that was shown, by people in Rivers saying that they are ready for the bandits if they dare come to them. Look at that. So I think this was when they go pick them.
This is where my brother and his wife were kidnapped last night. Can you see that? The both of them. Around the hours of 7 to 8. He was coming back from town yesterday in his house when they kidnapped him and his wife. According to somebody that was at home, he said he saw Fulani men taking them inside the bush. So this is the bush that he saw them.
Now, if you're living, in Nigeria, and even if you're living close to the city, but you're now living at the edges, kind of a suburban, which should be the right place when you want to have a little bit of quiet and peace. Now, you have to be very careful. You have to be sure of the environment where you operate. It's that bad. It's that really bad. So once you're not living in the main city, and you're living in all those suburban area where it's kind of peaceful, you have a lot of nature and all that, You might need to take notes. So that's what happened here.
A younger brother was at home here.
And that's the guys, in Auchi. Hopefully they are released at some point. I hope Nigerian government has contacted the Guinea-Bissau junta to ensure the safety and immediate return. Yeah, we saw that. Jonathan is back, right? He's back to Nigeria now. Look at what this Nigerian army are going through. Nigerian soldier says that he shares a video during gun battle. Wow. So this is live from the field, bro. But this is not easy.
That's what Nigerian army are facing. Look how we are facing. Look how we are facing. Look how we are facing.
Wow.
Where they launch RPG now?
Well, that post shows a raw footage from the Nigerian soldier capturing an intense ground gun battle, in a rural northern area, showing troops firing from behind armored vehicle amidst dust and chaos with no visible air support. This aligns with ongoing counter-banditry operations such as the November 4, 2025 clash in Kano State, where the army reported killing 19 bandits but lost 2 soldiers, highlighting persistent risk to personnel in asymmetric warfare. Replies express public sympathy for soldiers and frustration over perceived government neglect, including inadequate tactics and releases of captured insurgents. I mean, if anything is quite bad and disheartening, is the fact that when they go to do this operation and then they capture some of these insurgents, then they get released. Or they get to now have what we call the peace talk. Thanks for the follow and welcome to the show. Thanks for the like. And if you've not subscribed, please help subscribe and share so that we can actually reach other people. Now, Jonathan is back. We'll see what happened. Did you guys see what happened in the House of Representatives today? Now we just spoke about the governor of Kaduna, but his son is kind of, a breath of fresh air. And it did, speak out against the insecurity and also what I could call the unequal treatment that is happening in Nigeria with respect to judgments and verdict that has been passed. So this is
I agree.
Bello.
But our problem here.
Okay, Bello Erufai is speaking here. Okay.
One police officer manages 600 Nigerians. The UN recommends that ratio should be 1 to 400.
Okay.
We are understaffed. The president has tackled that. That's one point in terms of the short-term solution. And I think, sir, you leadership and committee chairman like Honorable Jimmy Benson should keep an eye on this execution. We can't just make announcements. Let's say by February we're about to see XYZ. That will help. In the medium term, sir, there was a conviction recently of a terrorist, Boko Haram. I believe his name is Husseini Ismail. He was convicted for 20 years.
Okay, yeah, that's Boko Haram guy.
He was a Boko Haram terrorist.
Yeah.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was convicted, I think, last week. And his own conviction said life sentence. I don't understand why one terrorist is getting 20 years and the other is getting a life sentence if you're saying that. I think Pastor made a good point. There's this idea that justice is served differently, and it affects the problem. Mr. Speaker, I'll conclude by saying this. I've been an advocate of state police. I've sought the wisdom of more experienced members like Honorable Sada Soli, Honorable Ado Dogwa, even yourself and the Speaker. I think the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. Somebody said that earlier. We cannot be sitting in Abuja and expecting operations to be efficient in Benue. We have to go back to communal policing. You that are older than us always tell us there was a time when if a guest comes to a community, everybody knows him. We have to get the traditional leaders involved and go back to state policing. This parliament, under your leadership, and I know the excellent work you're doing in the Constitutional Review Committee, is looking at that. Sir, no time for election talk now. We have to tell the public a timeline to roll this out. The fear that governors will abuse it always shocks me.
Again, if governors abuse it, there should be a provision in the Constitution to address that. And where there are clashes, there should be a way you can put all that together such that, okay, fine, you have this clash here, you have that clash here. This is what actually runs supreme. It's not as if there are no clashes in other crimes. There are times when the FBI and the state, police, or the city or the municipality police do have problems. Okay, we saw what happened again yesterday when two National Guard members were unalived in the United States in Washington. There's been the battle between, Trump and various Democrats with respect to the use of force. There are ways to tackle this thing, but you have to look at the overall picture of what's going to work for the country as a whole. Because it's very difficult. If we have local government, personnel and politicians that are operating at a local level and we're trying to bring autonomy and we're trying to make sure that they're responsible for their finances and cutting away the overhandedness of the state governor, then why don't we also give the state the ability to at least secure, its territory? That's very key and important.
They already have all that power. I'll finally end by putting myself in trouble as usual. The North has an issue.
Okay.
My honorable sister mentioned why we've become a breeding ground for such things. This is why. We are not sending our children to school. Mm-hmm. Of late, you have bandits on TikTok holding monies.
Yeah.
The younger people, younger than myself, they have no employment and no skill because
the ransom that has been collected, the streaming. They are now celebrities, bandits, celeb terrorists in Nigeria. That's really bad.
We've neglected them. It's a failure on all our parts over the years. Mr. Speaker, these young people go on TikTok and see a criminal holding minted cash. He's suddenly exciting. You want to emulate him. Mr. Speaker, we can do whatever we want to do in terms of FDI, IGR, investments, but we are failing in our primary duty, which is to protect the people we serve. We must increase the welfare of police officers. Recruitment should not be by allocation, sir.
Yeah.
Each state should provide the exact amount of numbers.
Okay, so that's it. He did. Yeah, spoke with clarity and brilliance. Yeah, again, that's it today. Was Bilal Rufai right? I don't know what this one is all about.
It's a Nigerian thing.
So you think that Tinubu is better than the Peter Obi?
Well, without a doubt.
Okay, this is a very old video. I'm not gonna play that one. That's that about that. Let me see. So Obi Ezekwesili has waded in. She wants to put her own 1 cent into this whole thing. Corruption kills. Has it not been a wonder that the more money spent on fighting insecurity in our country, the worse insecurity has degenerated, the less safety, more kidnappings and killings. So let us talk about how fighting insecurity has been a bloody, thriving and lucrative war economy in Nigeria. It starts with the absence of transparency and accountability for the spending of our public resources on defense and specifically on fighting insecurity. Over the last decade and a half, it is enabled by failure of Nigerian public financial management and of the Ministry of Finance Stewardship. What precisely have the budgeted and extra budgetary spending like the infamous 2.1 billion of 2014? 2014 was, I would say, the period where you have this massive crescendo in the spending, to tackle insecurity. I believe that most of that money, 2.1 billion in 2014, actually went towards the election or the re-election of Goodluck Jonathan. I believe that. And maybe to appease some power blocks. Read this excerpt from the study by Anti-Corruption Transparency International, the world-leading non-governmental anti-corruption organization with more than 100 chapters worldwide. Let's look at this. Aside from the evident waste and kleptocratic nature of the defense sector has had serious... Aside from the evident waste, the kleptocratic... the kleptocratic capture of the defense sector has had serious consequences for the security of Nigerians, despite sharp increase in ad hoc defense spending between 2011 and 2015. Who was in charge then? Goodluck Jonathan. Operations in Northwest have remained stubbornly under-resourced, with multiple reports of frontline. When you vote so much money, hi, welcome to the show. When you vote so much money, it just becomes, interesting to see how all those monies is being spent. And it's quite crazy. Yeah. So again, this was what happened during the height of the conflict. Corrupt social officers withheld ammunitions and fuel from frontline soldiers. I need to let me see. I just need to start my chat box so that I can easily read your chats and reply. Okay. Now, in early 2015 BBC interview, Soja anonymously recounted how his superior refused to resupply the frontline troop. We saw an interview earlier this morning how a soldier came online and said, you know what? I was not given the right ammunition to fight these insurgents. And that was what happened. In December 2015, court martial, 66 soldiers on trial for mutiny had their death sentences commuted after the court heard that the soldiers had pleaded to be given weapons and equipment to combat the insurgency, but the funds had been stolen. So there are people that are responsible for the insecurity that we face in Nigeria today. LG autonomy, okay, border control is crucial to tackling insecurity. And I think that's one other thing. Yeah, so LG has gotten the local government has gotten their own autonomy. But I think the most important thing here is the border control. That's really needed at this point in time. It's really needed. I don't know if you support this, but the FG, so Pastor Ashimolo is saying that the federal government should train NYSC members to combat insecurity. I don't think that will work. Let me hear this view.
Senator Barnaby also touched on that briefly.
Okay.
Please, this is one of the most trying periods that our country is facing.
Yeah.
Even in battle times, in war times, it's not easy to lose a brigadier general. It's not easy to lose a brigadier general. Even in battle times.
Yeah, that's Brigadier General Uba. You know, he was on a live just a few days ago.
It's not easy to see this mass of communities being displaced, harassed, taken hostage, and people killed in several parts of our country. Our democracy, right before our eyes, is being rubbished. Our country, right before our eyes, is losing prestige and respect, and is endangered by the day.
Yeah.
So this is a very serious motion. And I want to briefly object to the way and manner some of the comments from the other side have been on this very serious issue. This is the...
So apparently his mic was switched off after he blasted APC senators and Senate President Akpabio for unnecessarily praising Tinubu and sugarcoating the truth on insecurity.
Sorry,
no,
please.
I'm coming. Let me make my views, please.
You land, but which other side? There's only There's only one side.
The mover of the motion. I'm coming. Before I say, please. The mover of the motion talked about.
There's one Senator Dixon.
So they switched off his mic because he was asking for accountability. It's that bad. They switched off his mic because he was asking for accountability. While we're praising the president, you can say what he did in the last few days is kind of good and cool. But while we're praising him when there is a lot of issues and a lot of questions that we don't have answers to. So someone is saying, don't actually recruit 20,000 policemen, equip those on ground. I think you should recruit more and equip those on ground. You need to do both. You need to do both. You cannot just say, oh, don't add more power force. Withdraw those guys, they're withdrawing, I think, around 11,000 police from the VIPs now. That's what is happening. Oh, let me see. Nigeria is really a fake country. I can't believe what's happening here. It's really disheartening. It's really disheartening. And it's that bad that just within few months, the whole country seems to be run over. Now he's no more. They're not even allowing him to talk anymore.
He's the president, so he has to take responsibility.
He's taking it and doing to work. No. He's taking it and doing to work.
SP.
On the other side.
SP.
Hi, welcome to the show. And well, still they won't allow him to talk. Because so they just keep, the banter was on and on.
Can I guide you? Can I guide you?
Akpabio wants to guide him too. I hope he guides him to the truth.
Can I guide you?
Okay.
If you want to conclude your speech, be guided from the chair.
Wow.
The reality is that this affects all of us. So there's nothing like this side or that side. Immediately, no. Well, the person was
again. The problem is that there's no way, that there would be accountability, especially when we have the opposition that has been stifled, and the opposition also is kind of in disarray in Nigeria. This is what we're gonna have.
Watching you outside will think that the Senate is in two divisions.
No, but there are opposition. That's why we have the leader of the opposition. We have the leader of the majority. And that's why we have the Senate president, which by default should be the leader of the majority. So it's not like there is a division. Like, I don't understand when people bring cogent points or when people bring objections, it's been taken as being antagonistic. But that's not true. There must be some level of accountability. This is the Senate. This is not like the ministers' forum. Because when they have their executive council meeting, you expect everybody to align with whatever the presidency is doing. But when you are in the Senate or you are in the House of Representatives, you are meant to ask for accountability. And that's what I don't see in this National Assembly. They're not even doing a lot to even start with. On
the issue of insecurity that we are discussing, we are one side. The entire Senate is one. So there's nobody here that will come and say that this side is...
Yeah. So again, that's
treating the issue with levity this side. And if you say we should not commend the president, it simply means you should tell the president to sleep. When a man has canceled his international trips and stayed back to face the issue, what you are seeing is an attack on Nigeria by our enemies.
Okay.
And it's even as I'm speaking with you now, I understand that yesterday in the same community or so, that they went there and then abducted a pregnant woman with the 11 others yesterday night. You don't know when it will come to your village.
Can you imagine that? So again, you can praise Tinubu on the reactive measures, but he needs to take accountability because he failed in the preventive measures. With respect to preventive measures, it's just a clear failure. And it wasn't as if we didn't see this coming. It was obvious that this was coming. The signs were there, the signals were there.
So there's nothing like this side and that side. We are all Nigerians and we are all concerned with what is going on. So I would prefer that we concentrate on solutions.
Okay.
And what we are saying.
Okay, so again, that's just it. Like if you complain, you're the bad one. And that's it. How we can tackle insecurity when some people are spreading another narratives. I don't know what this is. I've listened to Shehu Sonny accusing Northern leader of exploiting insecurity for 2027. Let me see if we have this. Okay, we've seen this. This has been trending. This is El Rufai's son. Just casting, asking questions about what is really happening. Bishop Oyedepo blows out against recent church killing. I think I've seen this one, but let me see if I can see it. Security operatives briefing insecurity operatives. It's that bad. If you listen to Nigerians talk about the current insecurity, you will realize how much people are paying attention. Check this out. I'm not gonna check anything out. This is a meme. This guy, Nigeria is becoming peaceful every day. This guy is more like a is a loyalist for the.
I show you this very black goat. Now media bandit in be causing insecurity on media. Wait till they can't tell people.
Again, this guy is just more of an apologist of APC, always trying to talk about the good thing. Now, this is what Ruben Abati is actually talking about, saying that whatever Dixon said is like we should always tell the president the truth. Worsening insecurity put OPS under pressure for competitiveness. Let me see if I need to work on this. Was 7 hours ago. Nigerian satellites are not enough for adequate tracking of systems, says Ali Ndume, Senator Borno, for Borno South. Yeah. Nigerian satellites are not enough. Then reduce how much you guys spend on ephemerals and buy more instruments, buy more satellites, and secure the whole country. It's not as if our landmass is that massive. We don't have a massive landmass. You can travel by plane, across the country within hours. If there's a problem, then you should be able to solve that. Let me
pick ourselves. So this embarrassment is too much.
Yeah, it is.
These ragtag, these people that are less than 4,000 or 5,000, terrorizing a population of 200 million. It's shameful.
Yeah. Again, I do agree with what he's saying there. It's really shameful. And it's a big problem. It's a very big problem. It's a very big problem. And I don't know what he has to say. This guy has been in government for God knows how long. Since the day you heard about democracy in the New Republic, this guy has been in government. So almost everybody in government right now is culpable.
We cannot call ourselves to order and say, what exactly do we need? How many satellites do we need to be able to monitor? Do we really have the satellite? If you have the satellite, why not call NICOMSAT? Why not call the Minister of Science and Technology? Exactly. Who are the people that are supposed to be?
This is more than a satellite issue. It's just the clear fact that we just have leaders that are not serious. That's just the problem. And it's even far, let me say, it's even far more than Christian-Muslim North-South issue. Our leaders are not the best in terms of moving this country forward. Some of them are good, some of them try. But again, it's just unfortunate.
We're asking questions. We're talking about the families of dead citizens of Nigeria, innocent citizens that are dead. Why are we not waking up in this country? Senator, what do we know? What do we have in terms of manpower? Do we have the technology? Do we have the IT to be able to fight this terrorism? Or we're not using them?
I mean, it's a good question, but the problem is this. What happens when you capture them and you release them? What happens when you have a meeting with them? You have a meeting with the security operative and the bandits, and they had a chit-chat, they had a rally. They came in with their motorcycles. Some came in with their armor carriers. Some came in with the big elox and all of those. So again, it's not as if we don't know who they are. It's not as if we can't solve this problem. For whatever reason, I don't see how attack against bandits, attack against those that are causing problem is an attack against the North. It's not.
You look agitated. I'm very pained. My sense.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine what he said? You look agitated. This is a senator. Who should be more agitated? I think the senator should be more agitated. I'm like, calm down, guy. Calm down. Yeah, you look tensed. It's just I mean, it's just common civilians that are being unalived. Why are you shouting, Sheon? Take it easy. I mean, and that's the reality.
It's affected. Your state is affected.
Now you feel the pitch.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine his submission?
Talking about Boko Haram 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. In fact, I was nearly sent to prison because as I was talking the way I'm talking now, the government then wanted to make me a scapegoat. But that is by the side. Let's go to
the
important, not lamenting, not getting frustrated. No, just calm down. This time I'm the one that will calm you down.
Wow.
Okay,
wow.
We have a problem.
Wow, and it's that attitude. There is no urgency, to be honest with you. There is no urgency. There is no need for, them to understand that if we don't do what we should do, one more life will be impacted. It's not even in their own vocabulary. Like, calm down. Why are you stressing yourself? Okay, they arrested people, they kidnapped people and all that. Yeah, I mean, it's Nigeria, right? It's just unfortunate.
We must admit that we have that problem first. But fortunately now that the government, the president, is looking more responsive than he was. These measures that he has taken recently is commendable, but that is not enough.
Okay,
the major problems are known. Training, equipment, ammunition, and motivation. Let me take it one by one.
Again, it says the major problem are known. Why hasn't he, because he's a senator, why hasn't he been able to move stuff that should have forced the executive to do what they were meant to do? Why? Because the last time I checked, this guy was actually busy moving from one TV station to another TV station, from one media house to another media house, telling everybody, okay, how Tinubu is an anti-Northern president. He never mentioned that there were certain things that Tinubu should have been doing. And I'm not saying that Tinubu did whatever Tinubu did was the right thing, because he had actually trivialized this issue. Even until recently, in fact, even until when Trump tweeted, we were not seeing anything coming out of Aso Rock with respect to insecurity. But with this guy, you were in the Senate, you received, at least, if not you, one of the committees in the Senate would have received reports with respect to what is happening in the country.
The training.
Senator, just a moment. The question that I asked earlier, and we will go to all of those issues, is this satellite matter. We cannot sweep it on the
Okay, let me tell you the matter.
Do you know the reason? You know the reason why I'm going to ask this question, and we're going to investigate. Nigeria has paid money.
Yeah.
We've invested.
Okay.
It's like the CCTV cameras on the street of Abuja that suddenly disappeared. Who got the contract? Who paid for it? Where are the CCTV cameras? These are supposed to fight crime and criminality.
Okay.
The same thing with our satellite. How the federal government should come out to tell us how many satellites do we have?
Yeah, I mean, satellites, that's one thing. The second thing is when the satellite shows you where these people are, how are you treating them? How are you able to, to call them out? How are you able to actually ensure that when you arrest them, you don't just release them overnight? I mean, those are the real questions. You can get CCTV cameras or satellites all you want. If you still have those people that have infiltrated your government, then you're not going to have any results.
Why are we not able to track these criminals? Don't we have the technology to be able to track them?
We know who they are.
Technology, satellite technology. We need answers in this country. And that's why we cannot sweep it under the carpet, sir.
Yeah.
But you're asking me as if I'm the DG.
No, because
you're a senator, bro. You are a senator of the Republic. You are a senator of Nigeria. So, I mean, if you're not the one executing, oversight is part of your portfolio. In fact, oversight is your main duty. So again, I don't understand where it's coming from.
Member of the Senate Committee, Nigerians need to know.
Shogun, you have started again. You come here to interview me, not to interrogate me.
I'm not interrogating you.
This is what you are trying to do. I'm not here for
I want us to stay on that matter.
I'm even more interested. I'm telling you from the sources I have, and I don't have to tell you the sources, is that Nigeria has 3 satellites in the outspace there. And that is not to say it's no big deal. I think it's one.
Welcome, Prince. Nigeria is gone forever, man. I just hope we can get ourselves back. I just hope that we can, in a way, just get things sorted. But it's quite painful where we are right now.
Of the highest in Africa. But then, to orbit, it is orbiting. The satellite operation is orbiting. If you want to have real time, then you need to have more satellite in the outspace there, so that you can have your information as the satellite orbits the Earth, coming back to Nigeria's station and like that. We don't have that capacity. If we had that capacity, those even the beginning.
Why don't we have the capacity? Why haven't you, pushed the bill to make sure that we have a capacity? Why have you not done any amendment to ensure that we have that capacity? Again, I know that there's been this argument that, at some point they never sold us guns to be able to tackle insecurity in Nigeria. And I'm asking myself, at this age in time, with the rate at which the world is going, what stops us from even having a robust production, of this ammunition? And maybe you can't do that. What stops us from actually having people give it to us? If the Boko Haram guys, if the terrorist guys can actually have these weaponries, whichever way, then how come the government cannot, in a way, even maybe intercept some of it, or just cannot find a way to get those ammunitions?
From the Chibok girls and all that. When America was giving us information, they had their satellite on us, and that's why they were able to give us further information, because if they zoom on that, you get it. But in that Nigerian's case, it's not there. We don't have the satellite images that is required. We only have aerial images, like the Nigerian Air Force has what they call UAVs.
America has it, we don't have it. America was helping us with Chibok girls, giving us their coordinates and all that. We don't have it, and again, we just don't have it. That's the kind of senators we have.
About 6 of them or so. We have about 12 Tucanos, right? We have about some few attack helicopters. But all this cannot work effectively if you don't have the coverage of where your people are, where are the enemies, and that you can only do through the satellite. And for now, it is not something that we will say, Nigerian government should do it immediately. But it is something that...
Why can't they do it immediately? Why can't you declare an emergency? Why can't you use something that we call something like the Production Act that would mandate, resources, and would declare sort of an emergency to ensure that those kind of things are procured? Now, Tinubu has declared a national emergency, which is great, which is fine. Why can't we bake that into this whole thing?
We can collaborate with bigger countries like China, Russia, even France.
When you collaborate with bigger countries, you know what that does? That also opens your whole security stuff. I was reading I was asking Grok, online, I was reading about what's happening. It's not, news again that a lot of these places where you have this banditry and you have this chaos, there are mineral resources there. And there have been accounts that they've seen Chinese people, they've seen Lebanese guys extracting that stuff. So what happens is they use all of these bandits to just first come in, clear the whole village, and then they go on extracting the minerals, the golds, and all of those.
Or particularly U.S. U.S. has about 8,500 satellites out there. We only have 4. And when you say you want to have real images, you can't say. So I don't know where that information is coming. Yes, if you use your Google edition now, you can see what is happening in your house. If you install cameras in your house, and then you use the recent camera system, you can attach it to your device and see it right here in the studio. But you can't see what is happening in Sambisa. You can't see what is happening in the forest of...
Again, so that's where this whole thing, stopped, and we'll see what happens. Let me say this here. Okay.
Is that how bad you don't like Nigeria?
What's happening?
Is that how bad you don't like the country? Yes, there's insecurity, but you know the thing. These bandits, they get family and friends.
Hi, Olajide, welcome to the show. Okay.
The job of security is not just one person's job, it's every citizen's job. That CSC church where they go now, there's no way you will tell me that the bandits did not know anybody around the CSC, in the CSC, in that vicinity.
Oh yeah, they have family members. So that was what happened. Look at your thought pattern change and think about agriculture. Oh, okay. Yeah. So what would agriculture do? I don't get it. Again, yeah, you heard the story about how some bandits went to kidnap some people in Castina State, and then at some point, because the victim, the families of the victim didn't have money, they went to the bandits' family to also kidnap their families. And then they said, you know, this is what's gonna happen. If you like, release our family members you've kidnapped. If you don't release them, we'll have your family members. So according to the story, I mean, the video was actually online. According to the story, the bandits that came to kidnap people gave all of those people kidnapped 30,000 naira for them to return back to their family. And when they returned, then these people that had their family members kidnapped then released the family of the bandit. It's quite unfortunate that that's where we are right now. Oh, Atiku's son is now talking. Atiku Abubakar's son, Shehu, stares reaction after urging President Tinubu to suspend the Coastal Road project and channel the funds towards tackling insecurity. Okay, so this is the son of Atiku Abubakar. Okay, if the president is serious, he should suspend the work on the Coastal Road and rechannel those funds to solving insecurity in the country. What's the point of the road if people are unsafe? I don't think putting in more funds will solve the problem. I think what they have already should be enough. What we need is sincerity. How many of these bandits are in the executive? How many of them are in the Senate? How many of them are in the judiciary? Either directly or possibly indirectly. That's what we need to do. Insecurity is not an excuse to owe people money. Some Nigerians are very unbelievable. Someone will call to ask for what they own, and the debtor will start bringing up insecurity news like, for real. I don't know what this is. The major reason insecurity continues to fester in northern Nigeria is that the terrorists are not targeting VIPs. The president is busy offering senators, governors, and rep huge amount of money to switch over to his APC party, and we need satellite. That's true. You know what happened? The APC's focus really, the first 2 years, and most importantly, the second year, their focus was more of consolidating power. That was what they were focused on. That was why when El Rufai left APC and decided to bring a coalition, which I'm not an El Rufai fan, given all that happened in Southern Kaduna. When he started working on that coalition, you could see the overdrive that the APC got themselves into. They were pressurizing governors, they were moving. So right now, Tinubu has been able to consolidate power. And they've been able to also ensure that the opposition parties are in utter disarray. Now, again, the opposition parties themselves also have themselves to blame. Because it's always politics that the ruling party would always want to go against whoever the opposition is to ensure that they are weakened. It's the job of the opposition to have someone that is resolute and willing, to go beyond the normal quarrel and the internal party problems to be able to bring the opposition together. And I said it when this opposition started, the coalition, the so-called coalition started, that they were starting on a very wrong foot. And now we can see what's happening. At least look at what happened in the Anambra State election. The two parties that the APGA won, APC even did more than what I expected. And we could see that ADC, PDP, welcome to the show. We're just, the ADC, the PDP, and the LP, the three parties together. The performance was just really, really poor. But again, I think that's it. Well, the reason insecurity continues to fester in northern Nigeria is that the terrorists are not targeting VIPs, mainly because VIPs are heavily protected. They're not living in all those villages. They're not living there. They're kind of fortified. I mean, once in a while, they too become a victim. But I do agree. I genuinely commend President Tinubu's decision to withdraw the special police. Yeah. If you need a special police, you can actually hire a private contractor. You can. You can hire a private security guard. You can even import them. So hopefully the 11,000, because I saw the police chief was saying that they're 11,000, not up to 100,000. But 11,000 is also not a small number. My hope and prayer is that the president ensures the security chief actually implements this directive and that it doesn't end up as another catchy announcement meant only for TVs. I mean, we'll see what happens. I believe some people are benefiting. That's why they do not want this issue of insecurity to end. Of course, that's what is happening. Honorable Idris Wase says, okay, let's see what he has to say.
And I do not miss that word. They are always up to responsibility. The example was before the attack of Kuje prison. There was a report. Those who are supposed to implement neglected. The same thing happened now in Kebbi. There was a report, and the security council meeting was held at the state. At the end of the day, there was a directive. But an hour before the bandits struck in, the people on ground withdrew.
This withdrawal case, this is not the first time, this is not the second time, this is not the third time I've heard about withdrawal. Remember what happened in Kwara State, and that's not even the Iruku Kwara State that we're talking about. There was a Kwara, I've forgotten the name of that local community in Kwara State before this last one that we saw that the bandits came in and then they were just shooting in a church service, during the church service. These people in that village said, because of the level of insecurity, they formed what I call a vigilante group. And the vigilante group, right, they had their weapons, they were working with the armies, right? Because again, the vigilante groups are always on ground. So who else to protect, the community better than the vigilante group? They said the soldiers came to them and told them that they need to go service their weapons. And we're like, okay, fine. They dropped their weapons, gave it to the soldier. Then they said overnight they had helicopters moving around, circling, dropping stuff. They even told the soldiers that the bandits, we know where they are. We know where they're coming out from. We know where they're staying. And the bandits overnight came into that village and committed a lot of atrocities. So this is not the first time that we see soldiers withdrawing shortly before a major attack is carried out. So just to tell you that they've infiltrated the whole system.
This is one other area that we must look into. There must be synergy, there must be collaboration between all our security agencies. Otherwise, it is going to be an exercise in futility. And I have never seen a country like ours, sir, where...
You've never seen a country like ours. Bro, you won elections, man. It's your job. We should be the one talking that we've never seen the National Assembly as comatose as ours. And not that I want to just, dunk on them. Okay, this hearing that we're having today, that they had also in the Senate yesterday, should have been done a long time ago. We should have had this thing maybe like immediately when they got in, But
you neglect the advice of your own intelligence. It's important that we take them serious. It's important. As far as I'm concerned, if we are taking the security intelligence reports seriously, the crisis in Plateau State and other places may not have taken place. The last is about our judicial system.
You're not taking them serious, then somebody should be accountable. You should hold somebody accountable. There should be some moves to hold people accountable. Especially those at the executive, and maybe some also you guys too should be held accountable because the oversight is not there.
You arrest somebody with criminality, keep him, and he'll be there for 1, 2, 3 years, 10 years. There is no judgment. This we also have to look at. Is it about the laws? Is it about the provision in the Constitution? This is an area that we need to amend. Sir, I do not believe that we need to negotiate with criminals.
Yeah, but that's what is happening. Because the question is, how were you able to rescue the 25 students from Kebbi, the worshippers in Kwara State, and they brought Ononuga to Arise TV, and they said, yeah, we spoke with them. They spoke with them. Okay, how? Was there any combat? Now, what happens after all? There was no concrete, disclosure of what will happen. And I kind of agree because you don't want to put out your strategy. But again, the level of negotiation, the level of ransom payment going on in that country is beyond me.
I do not believe that there's need to allow those criminals outside for what is being done. We are seeing. Why will criminals come to town to a wedding with guns in convoy and we have the security?
Yeah, they come with convoys. They come with like all sorts. Like they give press interview. Now they're on TikTok. And the problem is they don't even cover their face anymore. And they have documented cameras. It's that bad. And that's really what really pisses a lot of people off. That these people are known. They are known. They are known faces, right?
They cannot track them. I watched with nostalgia again. A small boy of not more than 10 years from Zamfara Osokoto who visited Bello Turji in his own enclave. The boy said he survived by leg to reach out to him. That he wanted to be in his own gang.
So now people are moving. You know how someone moves from First Bank to GTB? Now people are even moving between the gangs. People are changing gangs, and it's wow. That's
came back from that story alone is sufficient if we are serious and we are serious to use that boy to track and get to where those people are. I believe some people are benefiting, and that's why they don't want this matter to end.
Are you sure that they don't know where those people are? I think they know where those people are. I think if they want to nab them tonight, they can easily nab them. It's not a matter of they don't know where they are. They know fully where these people are. They know their formation. They are benefiting from it. $9 billion, okay, is lost every year, annually, from the exploration of mineral resources in Nigeria. And most of that is actually going through the bandits. The gold in Zamfara, all the other minerals across, the northern, the belt region. You understand? So again, this is a massive industry. Some other industries in Nigeria even pales in comparison to the banditry, to the mining activities and all that. There was a collapse that happened in September. Okay, 100 people working in a mine, and all these mines are illegals. So that's how bad it is.
They are not benefiting. Why are we not? We have excelled. We have done exceedingly well as far as the Nigerian force is concerned. We have gone to Liberia and other countries, done well, come back to this country. I can tell you for free, sir. Before my cousin was killed, he came to me to say, I want to work, but they want to kill me.
Wow.
Help me transfer. My colleagues will bear with those who are in that formation. Help me transfer out of that place. There's nobody in Yobe and Borno that does not know, and that's why I want to thank Governor Zulum. He is somebody that is doing well. After his death, he has maintained the family, bought the house for the family, doing a lot for the family.
Yeah, and I think that governor too, because I remembered when he was fighting this guy during the Buhari era, he was fighting them alone. There was a time that he actually took a lot of police officers to go face these bandits. They lost a lot of people in that fight. In fact, other governors had to call him and say, guy, you have to be very, very careful. You have to be careful. You have to take caution because you are risking your life. But he said, no, not one. And I don't understand how you can be a governor in a state and your state is overrun by bandits and you're doing nothing.
There are very few who care about that. I can tell you for free, sir. When he told me this, I said, my brother, take it as a call. He said, no, I want to do the work.
Okay.
This is what I subscribe to do. But they will kill me because there is sabotage. They send me on an errand to do the job. On the time, they asked him to go back again. And on his way, he was ambushed and he was killed.
Wow. And again, that's the reality, okay? I watched a documentary this morning, and it was heard by Punch, and this guy, actually, it was a 4-year video. It was a video made 4 years ago. He left the army, but then before leaving, he was actually caught by child. during the Jonathan era, what happened? They voted a lot of money to fight insecurity, but they didn't buy weapons for them. So that was how these guys decided to protest. And then they charged them for mutiny. And then they took them to the military court. And they got to court and they said, you know what, this is it. There was no weapon. Now they did their investigation, saw that the monies meant for the weapons were stolen. And that was how they released those guys. So that guy is obviously out of the military. And I was just recounting what happened during, 2014, because that was when this thing was really massive. They've taken over like almost 17 local governments. And as a result of that, they had to push back, the election. They had to push them back and then also move forward the elections. And that's how crazy it is.
My younger brother that I mentioned came to me to say, transfer me, my sino. I want to leave this place. I said, I won't do that.
Okay.
Those who don't have people of authority like me, what is their own position? He said, I want to do the job. I've been to Liberia. I've been to other places. But these people will kill me because they are not supporting us. There's no equipment.
Okay.
Barely go on after. They kill him. The wife of this person...
Wow, that's unfortunate. And the wife of the General Uba, right, that was killed also is talking right now, and she's not happy with the way the whole thing went. Who gave the coordinates of the Brigadier General? How come? How did they know where he was? Who stabbed them in the back? I've heard also stories where they say if you are a soldier and you unalive a lot of these bandits, that they're going to come for you. You cannot just be killing bandits anyhow. This army service chief also that was changed recently before they brought in new. They said also it was when it started going scotch out on them and was very hard on them that they had to just take him out.
Yes, this is what I want to tell you, sir. Came to me crying, don't make me a widow. They will kill your brother. I am saying there's serious collaboration and gap even within the system. And this one have to be looked into. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, respected colleagues. I pray that God will continue to grant you the wisdom and the wisdom.
Okay, so that's it. I mean, people are paying, personal sacrifices. There are sacrifices made. And again, that's it. Insecurity. Nigeria is not ripe for private individuals to bear arms. Why is Nigeria not ripe for private individuals to bear arms? And we have terrorists with sophisticated weapons. Why? Why can't people secure themselves? Insecurity not ripe. Nigeria not ripe for private individuals to bear arms. But you, as an individual, you can have multiple security guard. Okay, and that's it. Major General Elias Njoku, right, has declared that in spite of the myriad of security challenges facing the country and the seeming free ride of bandits, terrorists, okay, who engage in kidnapping and other attacks against innocent citizens, and Nigeria is not ripe for private citizens to be allowed to bear arms. This is not it. That's quite ridiculous. Shut National Assembly until President Tinubu does the right thing. The country is running on blood and tears. Farmers cannot go to the farm. Traders cannot go to the market. Worshippers cannot go to church or mosques. Rep Dogula slams APC over security.
The country is running in blood and tears. You cannot go. The farmers cannot go to farm.
Yeah.
Our traders cannot go to market. Worshippers cannot go to mosque. Cannot go to churches. Then what are you legislating here?
Exactly. I don't even see any value add when it comes to the National Assembly, to be honest with you. I don't see what they do. I don't even know what they do, to be honest. They go in, they share money, constituency allowances and all that. They don't even hold the executive, in check. Because if the National Assembly was to be holding the executive in check, number one, we wouldn't have the same Naira note policy that Buhari enforced just 3 months to him leaving office. That created a whole lot of chaos. Number two, if the National Assembly was doing its job, there is no way we would have had a central bank governor, Emefiele, build a 750-something houses, and nobody called him to order. And it's that bad.
Mr. Speaker, if the government is not prepared to actually do the right thing that will protect the lives and property of our people, I urge on you, I urge on this honorable house, as a house of the people of Nigeria, to stand up to pay the supreme cost. And that is no more than to shut this house down and to call emergency on any legislative issue and wait until the right thing is taken.
Yeah, if you shut the house down again, I mean, I think on a normal day we shouldn't. National Assembly is not doing what they should do. I think that's the truth. But now you shutting it down, then what will you then do? I think instead of you shutting it down, you should be putting out value for your money, because if you shut it down, you're still going to be collecting your salary and your allowances and your constituency allowance and all those. I think what you should do is to be able to call people to order, bring in the executive as much as you can divulge, get more information from them, amend the bills, give them the powers they need to do your own investigation. Call people, call the politicians to order, but you won't, because a lot of your colleagues are also compromised.
By the government of the day. The responsibility of security, Mr. Speaker, of course, by the constitutional provisions, it is a sole responsibility, more of a sole responsibility to the center. Yeah. I agree with whoever may say, of course, governors in the subnationals are also accountable, and they must be held responsible for the security of lives and properties of their people.
They will shut it down and leave the country. What do you expect? Take a look at your own potentials. I advise you study in this area, African development. Okay, yeah.
Mr. Speaker, I want to say that in virtually all of our constituencies, given the opportunity, everyone here can rise to tell you the account of what is happening. Okay. Mr. Speaker, it is not religious. Mr. Speaker, it is not even political.
Also, what is it?
This fight and this menace of insecurity in Nigeria is something that does not have any identification of one's party or one's religion or one's tribe.
Okay. So we just heard Shehu Sani saying that, they know who they are. They're from the north and the Fulanis. That's that. Then we have also those that are in the southeast. We also have some pockets of some in the southwest. Okay. But at the end of the day, again, I'm saying those people we see, okay, they're not just, these are just the final lap. You need to actually look above that. There are people funding them, both locally and internationally. And that's the truth.
Whatsoever. It is a calculated attempt to demoralize Nigerian state. And if care is not taken, Mr. Speaker, even for those of us who take politics more seriously, we'll have a very big question to answer at the end, because it is like this unnecessary insecurity going on. This is a high level of conspiracy targeting our political processes.
Okay, now it's targeting you guys. So now you're now shouting, you want to do something about it. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. As long as the host country is secured, first potential manual education, trial law, jury law, invention of all kinds of machinery, social services, teaching, okay, truth and news, okay.
As we're approaching 2027, Mr. Speaker, we will all be expected to have a peaceful conduct of our polls.
Okay.
How do you have that if our communities, local communities, are plunged into crisis, into...
Exactly what happened in 2014 with Jonathan. Exactly what happened in 2014. It's a repeat. It's a pattern. And we can see that.
Into kidnappings in the churches, in the mosque, even down in the oil producing area, which is our economic live wire. Production of oil, crude oil, is being unfortunately undermined by militia groups. So it is like a collective thing that we must put our hands on deck, okay, and call whoever is responsible, sir, to order. Order.
Okay, whoever is responsible to order. Yeah, that's what he thinks we need to do. I mean, not just calling them to order. Bring them in, ask questions. The executive's number one duty is to secure life and property. Okay. So again, I know that there's nothing they can do to Tinubu because, I mean, he's mastered their game. He's basically in charge. He's been able to, take all of the judiciary, the legislative arm is under his care and under his control already. But at the same time, at least you can go and still be, one way or the other, make them responsible to whatever is happening in the country.
An order. And this House must not take for granted that we are not part of the government. If the government is wanting, this institution of the legislature is a component of the government itself. We have to look inward to ourselves and see what more of oversight functions, like some members have said, are we going to make? Are we going to provide? Mr. Speaker, we can even declare legislative emergency.
Why have you not declared it? Because at least the president now has declared a national security emergency. Okay, yeah, that's been declared yesterday. And he's doing one or two things again, even though it's late, but at least he's doing it. What are you doing at your own end?
Close the House, shut it up. Who are you legislating for? What laws are you making when the country is running in blood? The country is running in blood and tears. You cannot go, the farmers cannot go to farm. Our traders cannot go to market. Worshippers cannot go to mosque, cannot go to churches. Then what are you legislating here? Mr. Speaker, if the government is not prepared to actually do the right thing that will protect the lives and property of our people, I urge on you, I urge on this honorable House, as a House of the people of Nigeria, to stand up to pay the supreme cost. And that is no more than to shut this House down.
They're not going to do that, bro. They're not going to shut anything down. You know, I know that they're not going to shut it down. Yeah.
And to call emergency on any legislative issue and wait until the right thing is taken by the government of the day.
Wow. We'll see what happens. Yeah. We'll see what happens. One of our faithfuls, Mrs. Anna and her husband has been kidnapped in Edo State. We went through that. This is a harsh reality many Nigerian face in our current climate of insecurity. The kidnappers are demanding 50 million naira, and we are raising donations to support their release. Beyond financial support, if you know any trusted means or contact that can help secure their safety and bring them home, please reach out. Wow. So I don't know if you've seen The Herd. It's a movie that has been actually showing in the cinema, but I think it's now coming to Netflix, or possibly is now hearing on Netflix. This guy on Saturday, and I did cover that, just came out and said, this was targeted to the Northerners without watching the movie. And then he wrote all of this, blah, 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 blah. And at the end of the day, he went to, watch the movie and then came back to say, okay, fine. He actually understand that he was misled. He wasn't targeting the Northerners. I'm like, dude, possibly you should have asked some questions before coming on here to embarrass yourself.
Those who were recently kidnapped. Hello everyone, we are starting this fundraising campaign for the couples who were recently kidnapped, and we urge you all to support in your prayers and use your resources.
I know in times of tragedy, people come together. I've seen it happen before, and I'm clinging on that hope.
Just by sending 1K, you can help bring those young couples.
So now the whole country, we're now funding this, and I cannot understand. We're now funding this because why? We are left with no other solution. People raising money. So if you give bandits 50 million, what happens? They kidnap more people because it's more money. It's more money. And that's just it. Okay. Yeah, so that's where we are. Okay, the height of misrepresentation and distortion of the so-called Christian genocide. I think we've moved past the Christian genocide thing. I'm not going to go into that again at this point. And then I think that's that about that. Let me see if there is anything that catches my attention that I want to talk about. I don't think so. Okay, this is Bati. Tinubu's advisory against building schools in remote areas is wrong. He never said you shouldn't build schools in remote areas. Again, he just said that ensure that there's security. And I'm saying, okay, but that's your job, Mr. President. You are the one to ensure that we have security. For the commander-in-chief to say stop building schools in remote area, I would say continue building. I'm not contradicting the commander-in-chief, but what he has said is very wrong. Okay, yeah. Again, you can't say that. You know what? People should stop building. Let me see what he has to say and see if I can react to this.
I wish it was possible to have avoided all this in the first place. I wish, but wishful thinking is.
Yeah, again, yeah. If wishes were horses, yeah, poor men would ride. Yeah, I agree. Let me just bring quiet. Let me see.
Because his statement talked about recruitment of more police, crash training, notorious forests like Sambisa being cleared, state police, the ending of open grazing. I mean, did it strike all the right notes for you, or have you heard it all before?
Zero. He has missed the point.
Well, what do you expect from? We're funding them basically 50 million just for one couple. Of course, they're going to come and kidnap two. It's called scaling. They're going to scale. Okay, but he goes on TV and it says a lot of extreme stuff. I don't know if this is something I want to talk about.
Before that, let me quickly say, because you mentioned it, that in the policy, there is a call to stop building.
No, I think what he was saying, what the president was saying there was that, okay, fine. If you want to build, ensure that there is adequate security in those remote places. Because I remember what happened in Niger State was that they actually stopped. They've told those schools not to have, not to open at the time they opened based on the intelligence they got, which is quite sad. So it's a two-way thing. The government is responsible for securing the life and property and ensuring that there's an enabling environment. Okay? But on the other hand, too, you don't want to put yourself, in a very, very dire state. So you must be able to strike the balance between both. And that's where I feel that, in a way, you can say it's wrong for Tinubu to say don't actually open schools in places where securities cannot be guaranteed, because it's your job to actually guarantee security. But on the other hand, too, you don't want to also put yourself in harm's way. And I think that explains it. Okay.
Schools in the rural areas.
Yeah,
now that commander-in-chief to say stop building in rural areas.
Okay, I think he said that one.
Commander-in-chief, nice, and it's as good as what the armed forces are doing. So for the commander-in-chief to say stop building in rural areas.
I think he said remote areas.
Well, it's the same thing, remote area, rural areas. What do you expect? It's the same thing. Let me just move forward and see what it is.
And it is not about numbers, because remove the Nigerian armed forces. The Nigeria police alone can wipe out insecurity and banditry in 2 months. Nigeria police.
Yeah, here it goes again. Just put some on. What was the rationale? I know the army guy came out to say, you know what, I can do this thing within 1 week. And again, it's possible. I've played here, the report and the situation surrounding how Trump took down ISIS. Within a very short period, when he got to power in 2015, ISIS was all over the place, from Syria to Iraq and all of those. And he said those guys, when he called his generals, the ones in Washington, he asked them a simple question. How long will it take me to wipe out ISIS? They told him 2 years. That's what they told him. They told him it was going to take 2 years to wipe out ISIS. We all remembered ISIS, right? We all knew what happened. People were flying all around the world. People left UK to go join these monsters. People left the United States to go join these monsters. So it happened around December, I remembered. During that period, there was a shutdown, just like the shutdown they had recently. So it was like he was in the office. The Democrats were not willing to negotiate with him with respect to the budget and all that. And it was in the office, and I felt like, you know what? Why don't I travel to this hotspot called Iraq? Why don't I go and see how the armies are doing? Let me go to the field. So Trump, took his security and all those people. They traveled all over to fight Iraq. So he left the United States because then we were still facing ISIS. And of course, Trump in his usual way, the way he talks and all that. Then he got to the ground to boost the morale of the US soldiers. And then he asked them a question. And this was what he asked them. So he called the guy in charge, Raisin Cain. That's the name of the general in charge. He was in Iraq at that time. He said, Raisin Cain, if we want to wipe out ISIS, how long will it take to wipe out ISIS? And Raisin Cain said, sir, it's going to take us just 1 week. It's going to take us 1 week. The generals in Washington said 2 years. Why? Logistics. There are those that provide armory. They make money from that. They make money from the feeding of the troops. They make money from all this back and forth. It's a big industry. It's called the military industrial complex. So he said 1 week. Then he told him, but the general told me 2 years. He said, well, sir, President, it is not in our place to make any statement. The reason why I'm telling you is because you asked me directly. And of course, he went back to Washington and he gave them the order. So the general told him the reason why it's taking so long is because we're only eating them from this base. If you give us the permission to move to that base, this base, and that base, we can eat them all at once and they will not know what eats them. That was what he told Trump when he went to Iraq to visit the troops. He went to Washington, and of course, with that information, he gave the order. It's time to wipe out ISIS. He gave that order, and it was so interesting that shortly after he went to Iraq, the caliphate fell. The caliphate fell in such a manner that all the other countries, I told you that people traveled from all over the world to join ISIS. All the countries that had citizens join ISIS were not ready to receive their citizens back. So the whole story then changed from ISIS needs to be defeated to what do we do to these people? And Trump said, they're your citizens. Pick them up. But it was all over the place then. You need people that are really in the field, that are giving their lives out, people like a General Uba, to be talking straight to the president. I don't care all these big generals in Abuja. I mean, what do they have to lose, right? What do they really have to lose? What do they have to lose? You're talking about Nigeria, genocide, they just kidnapped now. We just saw the video. Those ones asking for 50 million. And those ones asking for 50 million, they're even operating in Edo State. So they are not like the tier 1 terrorists. Because at first, when they went to kidnap those people in Kwara State, they were asking for 100 million for one person. They kidnapped 38 worshippers. 100 million times 38. So the industry is already flourishing. That's one of the fastest growing industry in Nigeria. So except there is a massive move, to dislodge and to destroy. And it has to be fast. If you're going to tackle this thing, it has to be fast. It has to be swift. It has to be precise. You cannot just clear a path because they're going to move. And you have to do all at once. If you don't do that, I'm sorry. In another 3 months, the people controlling them will just tell them that it's time to pipe down. Don't kidnap, don't do anything. Give them the illusion that security is now under control. Because that's what we've been living under. People are like, so I see some of these politicians, you know what they're saying? It was when Trump tweeted that he was going to come to Nigeria. That was what the Senate president was literally saying yesterday during the hearing. Trump tweeted he was coming to Nigeria. Guns are blazing. This and that, blah, blah, blah. That is what is causing this whole problem. I'm like, man, look at what we have making decisions. Real peace is not the absence of conflict. It's the presence of justice. If you don't have justice, if you don't have your infrastructure well built to withstand whatever is coming, I'm sorry. Trump tweets is not what is causing the problem. What is causing the problem is that we have leaders that are not just there. That's it. So again, it is what
remove
it is.
that corruption, remove political interest, give them all the support they want. They will do it. So I'm sorry, Mr. President again has missed it. It's not about the numbers.
Okay, so again, saying don't employ more people. I'll say employ more people, and those that are on ground, give them what they want. Just give them what they want, and we should be good. Okay? Yeah, and that's it. So again, on insecurity, yeah, I've listened to this guy. It's wrong that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu got a life sentence. I hope they've appealed that case. I've not seen anything talking about the appeal. I hope they've appealed it, because it is. Kidnapping is punishable by death in all the 36 states of Nigeria, including the FCT, but till date, no governor is ready to sign the death warrant of any legally convicted kidnapper or violent armed robber who had committed mass murder during his or her deadly operation, even though the Nigerian law gives a constitutional and legal authority to governors to sign the unalifing warrant. Let's be politically correct here. Unalifing warrants. I don't know why people call unalifing. Hi, KDG, welcome. I don't know why people call it unalifing. I mean, death warrant kill people, but again, it's the algorithm. What more can I say? Yeah, because of their lackadaisical approach in implementing their constitutional and legal right of signing death warrant, we currently have well over 1,000 convicted death row inmates scattered across the various Nigerian prisons. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Again, we see what happened with Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu got life sentence. He's going to appeal that. But the real Boko Haram guys, and there was another one, Ansaru, got the range of 15 to 20 years. People that did multiple attacks, multiple bombings, got 15 to 20 years. And that was why Oshiomhole was really sad, mad yesterday. When I look at what he said, it was really mad. It was like, what the hell? What's happening? What's happening here? And it's that bad. It's really that bad. It's really that bad. Anyways, I'm gonna move on. Okay, AI is doing a lot of stuff. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's that about that. I've covered what happened in the House of Rep today. Let me see if there's anything kind of interesting happening. I'm not so sure. How will they sign the warrant? Who will they use as political thugs in the next election? Yeah, that's a fair point. I mean, that's really the fair. I mean, Boko Haram started with this group that they were being used by the politician, the Yusufu guy, and all that. Now it's just it's just crazy, but it is what it is. When you do your work diligently, your boss won't hesitate to command you. You and I know that Parliament does not feel too loud. Okay, Minister of yeah, I learned that this guy who did an emergency visit to the fire department today. And I don't even know how that one went. I think it just did like a snap visit. To be honest with you, we know that things are not where it should be. But this guy, Olabunmi Tujojo, I mean, the guy has really been, he's really been trying, his best. Let me see. Yeah. So this is him today. This unscheduled visit by the Minister of Interior today has really exposed a lot of things in the fire service. People need to take their job seriously. With Dr. Tujojo, it's no longer business as usual. Okay, let me see this. Snap visit. Okay.
So all these other trucks we people have here, is it just
I can't even hear what he's saying. Oh, the trucks are not working. That's why when you call them that there's fire, they tell you that there is no water. the trucks are bad. Okay, so this is him. He did a snap visit. No repair. I can't even hear what he's saying, bro. They should put the mic near his mouth now. Let's hear what this guy is saying. What he's trying to tell us. What is he talking about, bro? The look on this office is despicable. Okay.
I mean, the lot of innovation. Look at it. The appearances. I mean.
So what do we?
More like, I'm sorry. Like what you have here is more like a Goa office. Yes. Can.
Okay. So what happened? I still don't get this. Okay, fine. He had an emergency visit, and is complaining about this whole thing. Okay. So what do we do to that?
What else? Duty, nails, yeah. Is that what is fire stations? You've turned a fire station to a mall, to a shopping center.
Wow.
And this is one of the most important fire stations we have in Abuja. Because this is Wuse.
So this is Abuja.
Wuse is at the center of activities, commercial activities. And
so I'm even still wondering, like, okay.
Wuse is like this in Federal Capital Territory. Then what are you? Then what are Wuse in other places? That's why I didn't tell you guys I was coming. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't tell your city because I wanted to see it myself. If not, you people for don't go do that. You people will have put anything. But now we know the true situation and we know how to address issues. Nigerians deserve a proper rescue service.
But again, I'm just wondering, like, okay, fine. If the emergency or if the unscheduled visit is like people are not at work, people are not doing what they should do, but now you're complaining about the building condition. And I'm like, all these people report to you. Shouldn't you not you, because you're the minister, you wouldn't know, okay? But shouldn't there be a system in place that you ensure that whatever it is that is happening to the building, you know, you don't need to visit for you to know the conditions, right? There should be people maintaining that. So is it that there has been monies that has been allotted to that and it wasn't done? Again, I'm still trying to figure out.
It's important. It is important.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, it's more like the visit of Fashola to the Lekki toll gates after the whole incidents, right? Like, I mean, again, I'm not saying you shouldn't visit to do snap visit, but I'm saying that it only makes sense if you've allotted money or they are meant to do something and they've not done it, and then you did a visit and then you're like, oh, but this was meant to be done and it wasn't done. Okay. Or people didn't come to work. I still don't get it, but people were praising him. You know, Nigeria now, once they see small activity, they'll be like, this is the best thing, right? There is no longer business as usual in the Interior Ministry. It is a new dawn in the Ministry of Interior. Today I paid an unscheduled visit. So this is him talking. Today I paid an unscheduled visit to the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, FCT Command, and the Federal Fire Service Command, okay? The visit helped in the conduct of an on-the-spot assessment of our facilities and the general preparedness of our gallant officers to address incidents as they can emerge quite unexpectedly. The order of President Tinubu are clear in yesterday's national address to the nation, where he noted that all hands must be on deck in our collective responsibility to secure this great nation. Security is life, and Mr. President is trusting our officers to deliver on the issue of internal security and the protection of critical national assets. As a Minister of Interior, I believe that they will deliver on this so that we can all be proud of Nigeria and be able to call this great country a home. More importantly, I will continue to conduct unscheduled, on-the-spot assessment of paramilitary commands across the country, as I want to see things the way they are. For me, I want to see the sort of service that Nigerians are getting across all our agencies, because like what I always say, a good service is not good enough for Nigeria, but the best always. Okay, fine. Tinubu was given 2 months to fix Nigeria, else USA will come and divide the country. Oh, did they put a timeline? I don't even know what Trump is actually saying now or what he's doing. I know that they had a hearing last week. Okay, but bro, do you think these incompetent men hasn't loot the money that is allocated for renovation and maintenance? Yeah, again, we need to know. Yeah, you have a point there. Possibly they collected the money, but again, he should know, right? You should know that we gave you money to renovate this. What happened to all the monies, right? You should know, because he just came and did a surprise, which is fine. I commend him for at least, leaving his office to do that. But if they've looted money, then we should know. Again, I'm saying that do we need him to actually leave his office to be able to tell, the condition of some of these places? But again, yeah, it's Nigeria, right? Maybe they've carried the money. They don't carry and go chop something. yeah, those are the whole thing. Yeah, but that's a good point, right? This man just the buzz bubbles, man. Kudos. I believe there are more to come from him. But again, I think he's done well in terms of passport. I mean, people get their passport very fast, which really is good. I think that's why he wants to know. Yeah, Yeah, sure, Nigerians now. Maybe you don't carry they don't carry money, go do fast stuff. It's fine. Yeah, again, yeah, I saw that and that was it. Let me see again if there's anything. Atiku Abubakar is 79 years old and he's going out for presidency. So by the time he's done with his presidency, he's going to be 84. These people have been at the neck they have their legs on the neck of Nigerians since 1960, and this is where we are. Any evidence that these kids are in school, all we know it was in the morning that you went to JADA to fully register as an ADC member. No evidence they are in school. Okay, this was when he actually went to register. Now he's officially an ADC member, and there's a lot for them to do. I mean, for ADC, I don't even know if they have a plan. Right now, because the structure across, the party lines, both at the national and the state level and even the local government, I'm not sure that they will be able to meet up with the demand. And this is a perfect condition that APC wants. I'm not so sure that ADC will be able to pull all these things together. They just have barely, let me say 1 year. 1 year. 1 year. We'll see what happens. PDP is already over. It's over for PDP. I don't even know what to say. It's really over for PDP. Gaddafi gave me his resignation. Oh, no. I don't think this is true. Gaddafi gave me his resignation letter. The US didn't want Gaddafi to resign. They wanted to kill him. They wanted control of his oil and they wanted control of his sovereign wealth. Okay, let me listen to this one.
I hand carried the letter back from Gaddafi offering to resign. The US didn't want him to resign. They wanted to kill him. Why? Because Gaddafi, and I met him 3 times. I took Biden on my second trip to Libya, by the way. Oh, really? He went with me when I spoke to the whole country. And every meeting I had with Gaddafi, he wanted 2 things. He wanted to unite the African continent into a group of nations economically, like like the European economy. He wanted to base it on the gold standard. And the US and Europe didn't want that. And the other thing is they wanted control of his oil and they wanted control of his sovereign wealth. So Gaddafi had to go. That's outrageous and it's wrong.
Okay, so this is the for the pro APC, we don't want Trump intervention and all that. They're always holding on to the fact that the US wants to come and take Nigerian oil. Oh, it's 2 months that was given to Tinubu, honestly speaking. Oh, they gave him 2 months? Oh, really? Okay, that's why he withdraws securities from the celebrities and he needs 10,000 police. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. If they give him 2 months to sort all these problems, I think he can achieve it in 2 months if he's serious. It's for his own good too. It's for his own good. And I think for what he's done, to be honest with you, I think it's a step in the right direction, though reactive, but I think it's a good step in the right direction for him to be able to tame that. But is there any link to this anywhere? Do we know, like, if there's any, possibly it's just more like an insider info, that has gotten out there? Like, possibly it's just an insider info, but that makes sense if they give him 2 months. Yeah. Yeah, but those that are, so there is there are those that are like, never give the United States the opportunity to even step their foot in Nigeria. And to be honest with you, when you look at their argument, they do have, a good point. When you look at their argument, they'll be like, look at where the United States have been all over the world. There's been a lot of issues. We have Libya, Iraq, Syria, and all of those interventions in the early 2010s, was what gave rise to ISIS. And right now, that's why when Showore comes to say revolution now, revolution today, revolution now, I keep asking, Showore, show us your path. Show us your plan. Don't come and say revolution now, and then next 10 years, we're fighting ourselves. Look at Egypt. Look at Syria. Look at Libya. Look at Iraq. All those places where the United States have gotten involved in their issues, they've not been better for it. And that's the problem. That's the problem. So again, I would say, we need that pressure for the Tinubu administration to do what is meant to do. But at the same time, I would not want to give over the keys to Trump. But maybe that's the only option we have. Look at the movie The Giver. Okay? I'll try and check that out. But again, to also in support of Trump, because there are 2 sides to this. Because again, with Trump, there will be those people that want to intervene. There will be the hawk. There'll be those that just want to just bring in, like the Christian group that want to stop the Christian genocide framing and all that. I'll just say that there'll be different parties that also may want to also come in and do their stuff. One of the arguments that those also that are against the intervention of Trump is that Dangote is giving them a very hard time also in the international markets. And we can see that Dangote is not stopping. Dangote yesterday said that he's had 22 different incidents of sabotage in the Dangote group. People just start fires or people manipulate data, bring in bad results to bring in counterfeit oil stuff so that they can actually create a propaganda. So again, I'm not unaware that there are cabals. Dangote said the cabals in the oil sector is even crazier than the one in the subsidy sector. The foreign cabals. Yeah, that's crazy. Again, yeah, that's that about that. Danish lifestyle. Okay, I don't want to look at this one. Yeah. Okay, these guys, are they back together? I thought they said Kolu was fighting Kataefe. That Kolu wasn't giving him the right money. But that's just by the way. We'll see what happens. Okay. Yeah. So that's that about that. Let me see if there's any other thing I want to cover. Let me just see if there's any other major stuff happening with respect to Nigeria on YouTube. Yeah, the deadly shooting in Washington, man, that thing was crazy. So apparently the guy that shot the two National Guard was actually brought into the United States in 2021 by Biden. So Trump has been venting against Biden like, dude, now any opportunity to vent against Biden is always there. If military cannot fight Boko Haram, invite mercenaries to stop this madness. Okay, create jobs for youth, or Boko Haram will help them create jobs. The thing is this, yes, I agree that they should create jobs for youth, but it's not only in certain part of the country that there are no jobs. You not having job is not an excuse for you to unalive people. I understand the argument that it gives them, it helps them, foster this, makes it easy for the powers that be or those using them to recruit them. But we'll see. Okay, APC government paid some people that are non-Nigeria to protest in USA against the Christian genocide news in Nigeria. That is not true. Oh, APC paid some people that are non-Nigerians to protest in USA against the Christian genocide. Wow. Oh, that's not true. Yeah, I would agree. But do you think what Renault did? What Renault did was messed up, right? He went to bring this guy McConnell. And then that guy, at the end of the day, Renault had egg on his face. Number one, Renault is not even like an official of the government. And to me, I think he's been speaking more than the official spokesperson of the government. I don't know if that's a strategy that they are using, but I think at some point, Renault is not, I wouldn't take him as, I don't even know if he's a serious person for that matter, but he's like the way he does his own stuff, like it tries to kind of find a narrative that suits whatever he wants. And that's what I don't like. And again, I think some of those from the Democrat side in the USA, because I watched the 3 hours congressional hearings, some of those people from the Democrat side are against Trump coming into Nigeria. It's just natural, right? Whatever Trump does, even if it's good or bad, the Democrats are always against it. So what more can you say? Yeah. So that's that about this one. Yeah. So again, that's all I have today. We'll see what happens. At least for now, the politics news, is a little bit low now. Everybody's focused on insecurity, and that's what is really happening. Yeah, but we see police smash cyber piracy syndicate uncovers ammunition leading container in Lagos. Do you see what happened yesterday? Fake life is Renault's nickname. I agree. This is what happened yesterday during the hearing in the Senate. Akpabio was sharing a video. It saw a video that was trending online that they saw a truck with various bullets dropping as the truck was going. I don't know how that story went, but it's just what it is. IGP reacts to Wike Navy confrontation, payments to bandit plus. Okay, yeah, this was a long stuff. I wouldn't want to even. Let me see if there's something I can I can say to this one, because this guy spoke a lot.
Okay,
I don't know if
thank
something
you.
I want to talk about, but let me
I have
see.
a number of questions here.
Okay, so the guy came in today, announced that they're taking 11,200. Reno, that man has been a manipulator, exactly 100%. Yeah, but I don't understand. Again, there are some things it says that make sense, but the sudden pivot from Atiku to Tinubu just overnight, and then he coming out to start talking about how, he helped Peter Obi become, the vice president to Atiku and all of those things, how he packaged this and that, how he packaged Jonathan for the elections in was it before 2015? That was the one in 2011. And all of those, I'm like, dude, I don't even know where you stand. I can't even trust you. Then he started releasing emails between, Peter Obi and himself and all that. I don't know. It's just quite unfortunate. Again, I guess he wants to get into the government. Yeah, I think he wants to get into government. Maybe they're gonna give him an ambassadorial position. Maybe, who knows?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Okay.
11 of them.
Yeah, 11. Okay.
And
so 11,600 approximately policemen are being withdrawn from VIPs. 11,000. Wow. 600. That's a lot.
Expected to answer all.
No, just start off.
Or I will attempt all.
Okay.
If I can't answer all, I will attempt all.
Okay.
First issue raised. First question was
yeah, it's
from
a big
the
mess up.
Newspaper.
Okay.
You want to know what has happened to policemen who had altercation with soldiers when the Minister of FCT visited a site within the FCT.
Yeah, for those who don't know, so a few days ago, I think there was a former naval officer, right, that had some back and forth with Wiki. So I think Wiki was claiming that the building where those guys that the guy was working on, that they didn't have the requisite document, okay, to continue work there. So this guy, the naval officer, I think it was the former chief of naval staff or something, now sent his boys to Abuja. Send one soldier to Abuja to withstand Wiki. So I think Wiki has been sending his emissaries, all these not small now, the normal officials in charge of the land matters and all that. I think the police will just chase them away. So Wiki was mad. That was how he himself say, okay, let me go and confront this soldier. And from there, things just went down. So I think people are now asking him, because the soldiers were with Wiki, right? And then you had a military officer against them. So it was more like a clash between the soldiers and the police force. And then you had Wiki as a politician that was the main person. Yeah, let him walk his way there. He's messing up. Yeah, he is, actually.
I wasn't at the scene.
Bro, why would you be? You are the top G, right? Why would you be at the scene? Why would you even start with being at the scene first, in the first place?
Of that altercation.
Mm-hmm.
And I have directed that what happened there should be investigated.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever the outcome of the investigation,
we will let you know.
We will let you know.
Exactly. Of which nobody's going to know. I'm telling you, nobody's going to know what happens at the end of the day. Nobody's going to know. People have moved on. These politicians, and he's a police person, but he's also a politician. Let's just put it like that. They've found a way. They found a way to understand the whole terrain. Nobody's talking about Natasha again and Akpabio. Nobody's talking about that one again. So many things. Okay, before you know it now, on the two conditions, okay, first is for them to release the guy that defended himself against the Fulani. Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah. I think the guy also, his name came up during the hearings. But again, that's the hearings, right? That's one thing. and defend himself against the Fulani that led to the Fulani spine. Yeah, and the second is to fix Niger. Yeah, again, to fix Niger, I mean, that's what he wants. And if you look at Trump's tweet, it's like, if this is not fixed, right, it's going to come in and all that. But I'm not just so sure of the 2 months. Yeah, but yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Okay. Next question.
Then, Swift reporter, you wanted to know what is happening to our school protection squad. Yes, our school protection squad is very active.
Okay, so
they've
why?
been doing a lot.
Okay.
Through the school protection squad, we have been able to prevent so many attacks on schools. We have been able to protect many of these schools.
Okay, so what happened? Because one of the things that was raised in the what's it called again? In the Senate area was that we gave the order for those at the Kebbi stuff, at Kebbi school, to withdraw the soldiers. Because I learned that the soldiers were withdrawn just shortly before those students were kidnapped. So we're like, we gave that order. Why were the soldiers not there?
The fact that one or two incidents happened, does not mean that several incidents have not been prevented.
Yeah, but again, it's not about that. Like, for example, the theory of airplanes, right? There are thousands of planes that fly. As I'm speaking now, there are thousands of stuff in the air. The priority and the job is that to ensure that one stuff does not happen. But when you now have 1, 2, 3, 4, I mean, that was why they had to ground what's it called, Boeing 7. What's it again? That Max. That's that Boeing plane that's just started, falling off the sky, because it becomes a major lapse in defense and in security when you keep having that issue over and over again. So again, it's just like you saying that, you know what, you're doing a good job, yeah, your men with Max have kidnapped and many Yahoo. Yeah, I think that was also what happened with the SARS stuff, right? So why you're saying, okay, it's because this 1, 2, 3 stuff happened, that doesn't mean we're not working. No, the problem is that you've not created an environment that is safe. And that's why people are asking the question.
Doesn't mean that we are not doing anything at all. There is a lot that we are doing.
Clap for me.
And
okay,
what happened is unfortunate and we don't have excuses for it. And if you listen to my speech, I made it clear that we are not going to relent until all our vulnerable communities are protected from the attack by criminal gangs in this country.
Yeah.
I also made it clear that one attack on a vulnerable community is bad enough.
Yep.
And we are not going to tolerate it.
Yeah. I don't know who the intelligence department should be under him, right? The CID and all of that, the DSS and all of that. Because again, I don't know, like one of the videos that I saw with respect to the kidnappings and all that, and this was not a recent stuff, I think it was the Benue attack, was that they got the intelligence that Benue was about to be attacked, the 200 people that were murdered earlier this year, I believe. That they got that intelligence, ironclad intelligence, that these guys were coming. And that they gave the Nigerian government the report, and that nothing was done. If you could have an international body or a group, because there are ways that people report, like all these villages too, it's not as if overnight, okay, they just, at times these villagers know. At times they will be having a wind of what is happening. They would have been seeing the build-up. Unfortunately, nothing is always being done.
Peace maintained at one location, but violated at another location is not peace.
Of course, yeah.
Therefore, we are not going to sleep, and we are not going to give ourselves accolades until all our communities in Nigeria are protected. and no further attack on any vulnerable community in Nigeria.
Okay, we'll see where
this is our
commitment.
We are committed to it. We will do everything within our resources. Okay. We will continue to improve on our strategies.
Okay.
We will
again. That's that. Let me see if I can just fast forward again to see what's up because it's 43 minutes and I won't be able to.
The recent presidential order will make the implementation more effective. Now that it is presidential order, there won't be pressure on the IG.
Nigeria is corrupt. This man called IGP retired last year. Still, Tinubu called him back. Yeah. I think Shore is always on his case. Shore is always on his case. Where are you people starting? Bro, they are all saying this in front of camera. Then after that, what happened next? Where? Which village? Exactly. Where? And they all sit and around in Lagos and Abuja. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even believe 10,000 VIPs. Policemen securing VIPs. That's crazy, bro.
Presidential order. There won't be pressure on the IG.
Okay.
In fact, the presidential order is a cover for us to implement this directive that we have been trying to implement all this while.
The presidential order is a cover for me. There won't be pressure. I don't understand what he's talking about there. So that means there were some things that you knew that you should have done, but you couldn't do it, and you couldn't even go to the president. If Tinubu actually brought you in after 35 years of service, then what was stopping you from implementing? What are the pressure? Who are those pressurizing you? I think those are the questions that the press should be asking this guy. Because I'm trying to understand. He's saying that there are certain pressure on him, but now that the president has given him an order, then he can carry it out. Okay.
So you can see that the implementation is going to be more effective this time around. Because I know that nobody is going to call IG again that, please, these are my people. No governor is going to call me, no minister is going to call me.
What?
My friends, my family members will not put any pressure on me because they know it's presidential order.
What? Damn. What the hell is he talking about? Wow. Can't trust anyone again in Nigeria. They are all bad politicians and they've destroyed the country. I agree with you 100%. What he just said now, in a functioning country, some people should have just been called to come and answer. Whoa, I understand. Yeah, we know it's Nigeria, right? We all know that. Yeah, I know, bro. But it's like these things are going on record. Nobody's going to call him that these are my people. Who are those calling you and telling you that these are your people? Who are those calling you and saying that you should leave some people? Wow.
And I'm sure they are not going to put any pressure on any of my commissioners of police because they know that this is presidential order. So the implementation is going to be very effective this time around.
Wow.
And we are going to deploy these men to the areas where we need them. We are returning to our frontline policing function.
Okay.
Especially at this critical time. Every time we are talking of manpower need, manpower shortage. And now that we have surplus of 11,566 that are coming, we are redeploying to core policing functions.
Wow.
It's going to help us a lot.
Okay.
We will not neglect the welfare of these men.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, that's just it. I think at some point that man's speech shows that Nigeria is not functioning properly, including him and his master Tinubu. Yeah. Do you ever imagine that when there are attacks in the village and the soldiers want to invade, but they will ask them to wait first, then they will say, okay, go. Yeah, I've heard this also multiple times. It's just crazy. it's just crazy. And I don't know, man. It's just crazy.
Mr.
Okay,
President, who gave this instruction, knows very well. He knows more than all of us.
Okay.
He knows very well that
now he's
the welfare of these men is important. And anyone we are sending to the rural communities, to these remote communities, their welfare will be taken care of. Okay. That I can assure you.
Okay.
Then there is another one on recruitment,
right,
and the concern raised on what we are doing to guide against recruiting saboteurs into the police. We have a standard protocol for our recruitment, and anyone that is coming into the police will go through a screening exercise.
Okay.
It's rigorous.
Yeah, but again, they could pass the rigorous screening exercise. But what about the blind spots? What about the blind spots? How do you even know? Because I think that is also much more important for the soldiers. Very important for the soldiers. Nigerian government and promise. Yeah, they feel paddy. Exactly. How do we even know? Still they talk about screening. They're never ready. Yeah. I mean, but he's talking about the 20,000 actually, because Tinubu has said they should also increase. I think the total number now is up to 50. Imagine what he's saying, and to be honest, he's afraid of saying this, but he's doing it and as an IG in front of the camera. Yes, we all know. It's not some dude that moved from Libya. That is our problem. It's not all those people. Hi, Augustine. Welcome to the show. Also, I would love if you can subscribe if you've not subscribed. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the messages. Thanks for sharing. I really appreciate that. Again,
a saboteur manages his way into the police. The system that is operating in the police presently will fish him out. And it will be difficult for us to identify such people and show them the way out.
Oh, okay. We'll see.
There is the other one on NYSC camp to be used to train police recruits.
Yeah, when I saw that, I first thought it was saying NYSC, but no, but they want to use the camps, just use all those camps to train the new forces that they want to bring in.
Yes, it's going to be the first time we are going to experiment that because of the emergency situation that we are in right now.
Okay.
Mr. President is very passionate about increasing the manpower, addressing the manpower shortage in the Nigerian police force.
Okay. Then again, it was talking about, apart from the manpower, I lost my train of thought there. The salaries. I'm not sure they pay these people well. And I think that's why they harass all these Yahoo boys. I don't think they pay them well. So they need to look into that. They need to pay them well, their families, they need to be taking care, especially those that die on duty. I don't think they are well paid. And we could see that also. Then their training is also whack. And I think they have those that really do well too. I mean, just to put a balance to it. But when it comes to those low-level stuff, I don't think their training is there.
And he wants us to recruit as many as we can at this time.
I saw the adverts. I saw the adverts for those who wants to join the police and the army. I saw both on their handle, on their X handle yesterday. If anybody wants to join the police force. On a more serious note, too, they are recruiting now massively. 20,000, then I think there was a 30,000, now a 20,000, total of 50. They're taking the 11 out, and possibly the morale is high. If anybody wants to join, Nigeria is looking for police. Yeah. And also they are looking for army members to join, people to join the army corps.
We will assess the NYSC training camps. Those ones that are suitable for our training, we will accept them.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that every NYSC camp will be accepted for training. Okay. A team will go around and assess the facilities on ground.
Yeah.
And if we need to improve the facilities, Mr. President is ready to support us to improve those facilities. He's also concerned about turning out quality policemen. It's not just to bring in policemen and train them.
Mm-hmm.
He also wants us to have quality people in the police. And
okay, yeah. So again, I don't understand what he's talking about. It's not all the camps that is going to be used. I'm not even getting what he's trying to insinuate there. Because I thought the directive was that you should use the NYC. Then maybe there are some that are not just functional, which I get. But it's talking as if the NYC people, possibly there's something that will be dropping to the NYC camp people too. I mean, I don't know. In Nigeria, you can't, anything goes. So maybe that's.
we are committed to ensuring that. Then the question on the non-arrest of suspects during the recent rescue operation in Kwara. Okay, 2 questions.
Yeah, that's a major question. They also during the Senate hearing yesterday, that was also brought like, how dare you do? I understand the fact that you want to get the CSA members that were kidnapped. You want to get all of them safe and sound. Unfortunately, some of them lost their life, but those were those people that got killed when those bandits and terrorists went into the place of worship. I understand the fact that you want to also be kind of, use your tactics to get those people, but the question is what happens after? Because this same set of people, if they're still at large, they can go kidnap other people. Now we heard that they kidnapped some other people in Isapa, a pregnant woman and 11 other people, which is quite crazy. Hi, Augustine. Hi, Teddy. Welcome to the show.
Came together. Okay, let me address this first. When individuals are abducted and taken into captivity, our first concern is the rescue, safe return of those victims to their families. That's our first concern. We will work towards getting those victims released, rescued. Then before we even think of any other thing. It's not the first time we will do it. We have been doing it every time.
Yeah, but that's the problem. You've been doing it. The welfare is poor, so who wants to go? And so, they should talk more about how they treat these officers, see their police station in so many areas, nonsense. Yeah, I agree with you. They need to really revamp that. Bro, even if they pay them well, you still see 95 of them doing the same thing, extortion, harassment, greedy, and illegal. I think they live on that. And it's kind of, it's in their DNA right now. And it's going to be very difficult. Yeah. Because an average policeman that knows his way really makes a lot of money. Hi, Adam Molafe, welcome. Hi, Morgan, welcome. Efe, welcome to the show. Again, what he's saying here is that they've always been ensuring that the victims are rescued, which, again, I always want the victims to come back home safe and sound. But to be honest with you, if that is a loop, it becomes a problem. If at every point in time, they get the victims out, and because you want them to be safe and sound, these kidnappers and these bandits and these terrorists, they're just left to, to further move on, then there will be no end to the kidnapping.
We announce rescue of abducted victims every time. It's not the Kwara incident is not the first. It's something we have been doing regularly. I don't want to say much about this, but if you must know that our first concern is the rescue of those victims from their captors. Once we get them rescued, then any other thing can follow. You remember?
Yeah, but then people want to know what are the any other thing that wants to follow, Mr. Police Oga. That's what people want to know. But we all know this bandit stuff is pure politics. Exactly, 100%. And they know who's behind it. Yeah, make them know they talk good there and there. Exactly. That's why I was saying that he has a lot of pressure. He has pressure under him. But now he's ready to walk. Because Trump has called their bluffs. Trump called them out.
The abduction of those 20 medical students earlier in the year. Of course, it was in the public space, so I can talk about that.
Oh, okay.
We mounted so much pressure on this criminal gang, on the abductors. We deployed all our assets, critical assets, with so much pressure on them. They became afraid that at a time they have to abandon the mission,
bush, yeah.
And they let the students go.
Okay.
After we picked the students, we rescued them, then we know what we did. So we won't say more than that.
Okay. How do you achieve that sitting on your house in that office? I'm really afraid going to chase these guys doing this stuff. Beginning with terrorists to bring them back. Yeah, they know everything. The one that happened in the secondary school, who ordered the army to leave that area? Exactly. That's the question till today. They've been asking, even those in the Senate also, and those in the House also ask. They use, at the end of the day, we're just a point. Like the citizen is just a number to them. And it's quite sad.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. And
okay, then another person wants to know, there was a statement that has been going viral that the Inspector General of Police said we didn't arrest the bandits because they voluntarily released those victims.
Well, that was what Ononuga was the one that gave that interview. So it wasn't as if people were just insinuating. Thanks for the follow. Yeah. Okay, who is financing them? Who is giving these ragtag Almajiris AK-47? So if you're talking about the financing, it's multifaceted. These guys have multiple streams of income. So they get money from the ransom, from kidnapping. That's one. Number two, again, someone here, on the show was saying that even they tax some of those locals. So that they make money, just like a government. So they tax some of those locals. Before you could harvest some of your crops, you have to also, give them something. They've got international links. Also. Okay. And then aside that, they also do mining. Nigeria loses around 9 billion annually to illegal mining. So again, they will be taking part of that. They will not be the one just, responsible for all of the mining revenue lost. So when you look at all those streams of income, because the money from that mining ideally should be going to the FAC allocation account and to be shared across the state. So money from oil is going across everything. Again, there's also illegal, bulkery and all of, is it bulkery? What do they call it? I've forgotten them again. Yeah, those that steal oil illegally. So when you look at all of that, they've got massive financial checks, and that's why they can recruit all these people. They can get ammunitions. And we're not even talking about those external financiers also. They're also, like if you're mining illegally, you need people to buy it from you, right? Because it's not those people in the village that will buy all those golds, all those raw golds and all that. Go after at the end of the day, they need to go after the money. It's not all of this that is just cash alone. Especially this thing. Yeah. Well, it's only God that can help us.
I expect that people should know that no IG will say such a statement, will make such a statement. No IG will make such a statement. That's why I didn't bother to respond to it.
Okay.
I'm talking about it now because somebody asked that question. How can an IG say that we didn't arrest them because they voluntarily released those people? That's a careless statement. I didn't say so. And it's not the first time that they will publish so many things about the IG that the IG didn't know about. So it's not the first time.
Okay.
So you should get used to all this misinformation, all this nonsense going on.
The guy on the vex. Like, again, I mean, if you're in public space, you should know that it comes with the job. You just tell people what you're doing. And again, maybe if you're doing your job, a lot of this stuff would be, going viral. That's what I think.
So, if you really want to know, I didn't say anything like that. Okay.
Okay.
And I have explained that our primary concern was safe rescue of those abducted victims. And that was what we achieved.
Okay.
I won't say more than that. Okay, then someone wants to know whether our SPU will still be functional after the presidential directive.
What's SKU?
Just wait. I've told you that we have commenced the implementation of presidential directive.
Okay.
But the implementation, we are going to implement this directive in a structured way.
Okay.
In a way that we don't leave any gap that will be exploited by criminal elements.
Okay. Yeah. Again, I think at the end of it, I wish they wake up to their duties because they know from there. Yeah. I mean, I hope they are up to speed because right now we don't even have time. Yeah, we're kind of close to I mean, not maybe close, maybe effectively a first stage. I think you said it the right way there. Because nothing seems to be working. And that's the problem.
In a way that we don't expose our drivers of the economy to danger. So that's not in the intention of the presidential order.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. President has given his directive and the implementation is left with the Inspector General of Police. And I'm assuring you that we will implement Mr. President's directive strictly in a structured manner, in a way that will not expose anyone to danger, in a way that will protect our economy.
So he's talking about the VIPs. Yeah, that's it. Maybe, of course, they won't take away Dangote's security. I'm not even sure Dangote is using Nigerian police, to be honest with you. I mean, these people, if you are a VIP, you should be able to afford private securities. And there are a lot of private security, in fact, that are more effective, that they get their intelligence, even not just from Nigeria. Yeah, H3 out, thanks. Yeah, we're saying this for a long time. Let him go do their job. The guy is a politician. What do you expect? I mean, what do you expect?
We won't do it in a way that will create more problem than we are trying to solve.
Okay. Okay, we believe you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then someone wants to know the exact number of policemen that we have as of today.
Mm-hmm.
If I tell you I know that number, if I say I can give you accurate number right now, I can give the accurate number, but not immediately.
I can give you a accurate number right now. I can give you a accurate number, not immediately. Which one now? But again, I don't think you may just want to give range because these are numbers that should be out there in the public, right? And the problem is beyond what they can handle.
Because I don't know how many have been dismissed yesterday.
No, bro. What is it talking about? Of course, people are getting in, people are going out. It's just like when you say, okay, what's the number of birth rate? As at the point they are computing, people are giving back people. So you give ranges, you give like an estimate. What is he doesn't know, right?
From different commands. I don't know how many have retired. Just before I came into this hall.
Baba, why now?
I don't know how many have resigned just before I came into this hall. I don't want to talk about dying.
Why are those clapping? What the hell? I can't believe people clap for that. Oh my God. Wow. I don't even know which one is worse. Is it the person saying that it can't give a number? I mean, if it says that, you know what, for whatever reason, I won't be able to give you a number for security, and there's even no security reason there because these are statistics, right? It's not like everybody should know what the numbers are. But I don't know which one is worse. Is the guy saying that he cannot give you, or the people that are clapping? Those are his staff members. Appraisal time is almost December. Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
This last question, are you talking about facilities for training of new recruits?
Mm-hmm.
If you are talking about facilities for training of new recruits,
no, I see camp now.
I can assure you that Mr. President has set up a committee.
Another committee
has already gone around all the training schools,
bro,
and has seen the needs to revamp all these our training institutions. So
another committee to revamp. Wow. So what did they do when they do their yearly capital budgeting? What do they do when they plan? Because some of these things are planned like years, ahead. And now if you want like all this emergency stuff, I understand that. But I don't know why they arrest bandit terrorists and then pardon them and tell them they can become president. When the world that is done. I mean, they are literally in the army. According to Sheikh Gumi. Literally in the army. There was one, someone pointed me to this guy that when they collected ransom, I think the Abuja, Kaduna, whatever, kidnapping, that the guy actually pocketed 50 M. So again, we're just not serious. That's just what I can say.
That is ongoing. But what we have now can train the number that we want to recruit.
Okay, fair
so
enough.
That's what I can tell you immediately. So thank you. A nation's security is not measured by the absence of threats, but by the disciplined actions taken
the presence of justice
to prevent those threats, neutralize them, and taken after the threats strike.
Okay, this is another stuff. Okay. Yeah. So again, it's just what it is. At this point, I think I just hope that they are able to get their acts together. That I don't know. Really, I don't know. But again, it is what it is. Hopefully, would definitely come here tomorrow and and talk about that. The first lady, despite all what is happening, they do selfie. When the war, the terrorist bandit take selfie with government officials. They do. Now they're on TikTok. They're kind of now. You know what we have in Nigeria? We've got terrorist celebrities. Terrorist celebrities. That's what we have in Nigeria now. Despite all that is happening, Remi Tinubu, the wife of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has invited 109 senators to come and drink in Aso Rock while the country is mourning. I'm happy that the Nigeria media are over these stories. It's crazy. Nigeria can make more money from agriculture than we currently make from oil. Okay, so Peter Obi went to Imperial College London. Again, I mean, Peter Obi would do Peter Obi, but I'm not seeing a lot of work from Peter Obi with respect to political party restructuring, strategically placing himself to be able to, win in 2027. I don't even know where things are now with respect to the opposition. But again, it was out of the country yesterday and it's done that. People say I should not talk about Obi again on this show. But again, I think is number one when it comes to LP, right? So we're gonna talk about it. But it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Yeah, they're Nigerians. Yeah, say no to any military coup. I don't give bandit the opportunity to take over the country in guise of military coup. Say no to it, please. Again, you saw what happened in Guinea-Bissau, right? One election. The opposition and the ruling party declared victory. The military swept in, and now they handed over. They appointed someone. Our good luck Jonathan is back home. He was going there to fortify their democracy. Unfortunately, the guy was locked in. But it is what it is. So at this point, yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for your support. Thanks for the chat. Thanks for the subscription. Thanks for everything. I will catch you tomorrow or later today. Thanks. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye.